Hello everyone and welcome to something a little different. Today I'd like to talk about game writing. But first of all, why do I care? Well, I've been making video games for almost 10 years now, and I've been writing even longer. Yet, in that time, it never occurred to me to seriously combine the two. But now I've taken a greater interest in it, and my game dev tastes have matured. So, I'd like to take this time to talk about the writing I've been doing in my newer games, and why I've been doing game writing since my very first game. Basically, my point boils down to one simple statement. Everything is game writing. Let me explain. I'll be using my current project, Murkheim, as an example. Murkheim is an open-world action survival game set in an alien world that you crash onto because reasons. After that, you need to fend off horrible night terrors long enough to find parts of your crashed spaceship to build a distress beacon and call for help. And that's about it for the plot. Pretty simple, right? Should be easy. Come in, write a few lines, call it good. Writing done. Not so fast. In addition to very filmy script-type writing that needs to go into games for scenes, plot, dialogue, and the like, there are tons of other things that need to be written. And there's a reason I said that in quotation marks, and it's because there's a lot of unwritten writing that goes into video games. Honestly, it mostly depends on how you define it. So here's my definition. As the one-man indie team I am, game writing seems mostly split in two. Narrative writing and other writing. Okay, that didn't really clear anything up, so I'm going to use some examples from my games. Alright, so narrative writing is like what I was talking about earlier, the plot. But it's also things like backstory, notes and such you can find in game, and more. Heck, I could consider this hologram to be writing. Or more obviously, this skeleton. There's a story here, and here, and here. Your crashed ship says a lot. Even if on a larger team it'd be the job of an artist to make it and a designer to place it, it still continues the story that's being told. Most importantly, that it's busted and you need to figure out some other means of escape. So, in a way, narrative writing influenced the art and design of this game. And that's not something that's limited to an open-world action survival game like Murkheim. In Project Hyperion, there's a way more blatant plot with an AI telling you a lot of it.
The job you applied for is assisting in our development programs. Specifically, you'll be stress testing our devices while we collect data on their effects on the wearer.
But more than that, the pristine, sterile environment that you find yourself in and the robotic voice that guides you are both story. In Lost, a game I've been putting work into on and off over time, it has a somewhat ambiguous setting, but its dungeons still tell a story. And what's more, its low-bit pixelated graphics tell a story. Not just that this game is inspired by retro games, but also that it borrows some of the hands-off storytelling of the era. In the original Doom, it didn't really matter why you were a space marine shotgunning demons in the face, but you were still a space marine shotgunning demons in the face. So too, Lost is exactly what it appears. You've become lost in a maze filled with monsters and you need to find your way out. Again, the simplest answer is probably the truth, and you were likely kidnapped and put down here to die or find your way out. But then we have Circuit Spinner, and here's where things get interesting, because this is an arcade-style score game. Not only that, but in the vein of games like Super Hexagon, it has no plot. Sure, there's some narrative points we can glean from it, like that it appears to take place in cyberspace, but beyond that, what's there to write? As it turns out, a lot. Remember that other type of writing? The one I called other writing? Well, Circuit Spinner is, arguably, more other writing than narrative writing. Because everything here, from the title to the score counter to the instructions to the menus, are all writing. In fact, this type of writing is one of the things game companies hire writers for. So I was doing game writing from the first time I made a menu, or a hint, or instructions, or even before then. I was making narratives from the first time I made an unmarked sphere move, because everything is game writing. Well, wasn't that fun. But now that's over, I'd just like to say, these are my opinions. I may have been making video games for 10 years, but I'm still amateur and indie. I've not yet worked AAA for any big company or anything. So, this is just my understanding of game writing as it is, and as it appears in my video games. So, take that for what you will. and I'll catch you all later.